my name is Lynn Funk, and this is a companion video to the first video that I did, Basic Steps for Absolute Beginners and Beginners. And this is the second video with some requests for more steps so that my dancers can learn more steps. I have to say that my air conditioner may pick up in the video because the camera's right under the air conditioner. Just kind of tune it out. So anyhow, we're going to start with the Charleston. There's two basic Charlestons that we do in line dance in the beginner dances. And the first one we do in the Cowboy Charleston. We start with the right foot, we touch the right toe forward, and then we step the right foot back. Then we take our left foot and step the left toe back and step the right foot forward. So it's toe and step, and toe and step. It's forward and back and back and forward, forward and back and forward. And you can swing your legs if you feel like swinging your legs and your arms to make that Charleston like they had it in the 30s. So that's the one Charleston that we do in the Cowboy Charleston. The other Charleston we do in dances like Easy Shuffle and some other beginner dances. Well, we do it in other dances too. It basically starts stepping on the right foot. So you step on the right foot, you kick your left foot. Now your left foot's up in the air, it's gotta do something. You come back on the left foot, and then you touch your right foot back. So it's a right, kick left, step back left, and touch right. Right, kick, step, touch. Right, kick, step, touch. Right with a kick, left with a touch. Right with a kick, and left and right touch. So that's the other Charleston step that we do in line dance. The next thing we're going to do, and I have a cheat sheet here so I don't forget, we're going to talk about the swivels. I taught a dance called You Give Me Shivers, and I put a baby swivel in it. I call it a baby swivel. And a swivel is where you're taking your right foot, and then you're going to just take your left foot, and like a worm, you're going to take your heel in, then bring your toe in, and then touch. And then you're going to do the same thing with the left. You're going to step on the left, you're going to take your right heel in, right toe in, and then touch. So you're just swiveling your foot a little bit. So it's kind of a baby swivel. So you're stepping, heel, toe, touch. Step, heel, toe, touch. That's one swivel. Now there's a bigger swivel. It's the same movement, but you're going step, heel, toe, heel. And then step, heel, toe, heel. We do that in a dance called Glass of Wine. So those are some swivels. We also do double swivels. We do it in skinny jeans, but it's where you go heels and toes, and you just keep going heels and toes and heels and toes and heels and toes and heels and toes. So you're swiveling both of your feet. So when you do the swivels, when you swivel your heels, you're on your toes. When you swivel your heels, when you swivel your toes over, you're on your heels. So those are swivels that are both feet swivels. So we do those double swivels in some of our dances as well. The next thing I'm going to cover is the kickball change. The kickball change, we normally do it with the right foot in beginner dances. You're going to take and kick your right foot and then do a little step together. So it's kick, step, step. It's called a kickball change because when you come back with your right foot, you're very quickly on it. Just like when we shuffle, you do a real quick and count step in the middle. So it's kick, step, step, kick, step, step, kick, ball change, kick, ball change, kick, step, step. So that's a kickball change. You can do it with the left foot as well. Normally in beginner dances we don't, but it's the same thing. You're doing a kick, step, step, kick, step, step. So it's just a kick and then coming together with your feet. So that's a kickball change. The next one we're going to do are heel hooks, and we do this one in Georgia Peach. So a heel hook is where you're taking your heel out, then you're going to hook this right foot over, and you're going to put the heel back down again and then come together. So that's the right one. So you go heel, hook, heel, step down. Heel, hook, heel, step down. So heel, hook, heel, step down, heel, hook, heel, step down. If you feel like your balance is off, you can just do a little heel, little hook, little step down, heel, little hook, heel, step down. Or you can even do heel, toe, heel, step down, heel, toe, heel, step down. So you can modify it any way you want. Since most of my dancers are seniors, I know that sometimes we have balance problems, we have artificial parts, and so we have to modify things so that we can still dance and have a good time. And I try to introduce those modifications so that people can do what they want. When I call a heel hook, they can decide what works best for them. So anyhow, that's a heel hook with both feet doing the heel hook. We also do that in Copperhead Road. Sugarfoot. The Sugarfoot, we do an easy shuffle, and it's where you take your toe in, your heel out, and then we follow usually with a triple step, right, left, right. We do the left foot, left toe in, left heel out, and left, right, left. Remember, a triple step is the same as a cha-cha, shuffle, but when we're doing it in place, we normally call it a triple step. So it's toe in, heel out, toe in, then pointing the toe out at the heel, and then triple step. Toe, heel, and triple step. Toe and heel and triple step. Toe and heel and triple step. Those are called Sugarfoots. In dancing, I usually say toe, heel, triple step. I don't say Sugarfoots because most people wouldn't know what it is, so I call it by how we're actually performing it. So those are toe, heel, triple steps, also known as Sugarfoots. That one can be modified as well, especially if you have artificial knees and hips and it's not comfortable, or you have hip and knee issues. You can just do a toe, heel, and triple, and toe, heel, and triple. So you can modify it to fit your own body and your own, needs. So that's the Sugarfoot. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the lock steps. When we're doing Rockin' the Wagon Wheel, and we're doing the Motown going through, especially when we do a contra, when we're doing that first 8 counts, the actual step is a lock step. But in beginner dances, a lot of times we just say Motown, and so we just do that step together, step, brush, step together, step, brush. But the actual step is a lock step. A lock step is where you're taking your right foot, you're taking your left foot and kind of locking it behind your right foot, and then stepping with your right foot. And we usually do a brush or a touch after that, but this is a brush in most cases. So you're stepping forward with the right, you're locking your left foot behind, stepping forward with the right, and brushing. Now you're going to do the same with the left. Step with the left, take your right foot lock behind, step, and then brush. When I do lock steps, if I'm doing a true lock step, and I'm backing up a little bit, I angle my body. So when I do that step, lock, step, brush, step, lock, step, brush, it also looks a lot better. So anyhow, if you're going to do the true lock step, you can do modified lock steps where you're not really locking your foot, you're kind of just stepping behind. You can do a step behind, step, brush, step behind, step, brush. So it's a modified lock step. But the true lock step is you're locking behind, you almost feel like you're bumping your leg. So if you're doing the true lock step, it's side, behind, step, brush, step, behind, step, brush. And I hit my leg purposely so you could see the true lock step. But when you're learning, that might be a little bit too much, and especially if you're afraid that your feet will get tangled up, you can still do the Motown. Motown works just great, that step together, step, brush. Or you can do just step behind and step, brush, step behind and step, brush. So you've got some ways of doing that lock step. If you hear the dance step called as a lock step, just remember you can also do the Motown as an alternate for the lock step. The next thing I'm going to do is a Monterey turn. We do this in gin and tonic. And the Monterey turn, the basic footwork on the Monterey turn is nothing more than out with the right, come together, out with the left, and come together. That's the basic footwork, but we turn. So we're going to take our right foot and point it out. Now we're going to turn a quarter turn. So what we're doing is we're swiveling this foot and dragging this foot back in as we're turning. So we're just kind of making that turn. So all I did was I kind of got up on my toe a little bit and I made that turn. So that's a part of the Monterey, and then the rest of the Monterey is out, in. So the Monterey turn, you take your right foot, point out, you make that turn, and then go out, in. So that's the full Monterey. It's out, make that turn, and out, in. We still did an out, in with the right foot, but we made that turn. So out, make that turn, and out, in. So that's the Monterey turn. Now you can do the Monterey this way, which we do on Eating at Joe's, but it actually is a step together. I think that the Monterey is backwards. Anyhow, you can do it on the left foot. In most beginner dances, we do it with the right foot, and in Gin and Tonic, we do it with the right foot. So Eating at Joe's, I think it's out and together, then making that turn. But don't worry about that one. The one that you want to kind of get to know is the one where you're pointing out with your right, you're making that turn, and then pointing with the left and coming back together again. That's the full Monterey turn. And we do that in Gin and Tonic. The next thing I'm going to talk about is scissor steps. Just like scissors come together and they kind of cross over sometimes, especially specialty scissors. So you take your right foot, now you just slide your left foot together. Now I always slide just a little bit behind because I know I'm going to take that right foot and cross over. And we normally have a hold sometimes on our scissor steps. So it's right, slide together, and cross and hold. We do the same with the left. Left, step together, and cross and hold. We do this in Come Dance With Me, the bigger Come Dance With Me. So it's right, come together, and cross and hold. Side, together, and cross, hold. Side, together, and cross, hold. Side, together, and cross, hold. Those are scissor steps. So it's nothing more than kind of stepping together, stepping your right foot out, bringing your left foot together, and crossing over. I just happen to step mine when I'm bringing it, I slide it, and I bring the scissors slide. I kind of slide it back a little bit so it's easier to cross over. So then when I take my left and I slide, and then I cross over. So it just makes it easier. But that's a scissor step, and we do that in Come Dance With Me, one of our basic dances, and it's a classic. Sailor steps. A sailor step, I call it the backward twinkle. You know, in the twinkle, when we do twinkles, and we always usually start with the left, you do that cross, side, side, cross, side, side. Well, in a sailor, you're doing the cross behind. So you're going behind, side, side, behind, side, side. And it doesn't matter which foot you start with. Sometimes we do sailor starting with the right foot, sometimes we do it with the left. So a sailor step is a backward twinkle. And so it's behind, side, side, behind, side, side. And the reason they call it a sailor step is if you did it with kind of leaning a little bit, you would look like a drunken sailor. So you would be, it would be behind, side, side, behind, side, side, behind, side, side, behind, side, side. So you could look like a drunken sailor. We do the sailor steps in a lot of dances. Probably the one dance I can think of right now, Drinking Problem, which is usually a second-hour dance, but it's not a difficult dance, but it does have 2 sailor steps in it. But sailor steps are good to know, and they're fun to do. So that's a sailor step. It's nothing more than a backward twinkle. If you just think of it as a backward twinkle, then it makes it easier to know, and you don't have to look like a drunken sailor. You can just do the behind, side, side, behind, side, side. And that's the sailor step. The next step I'm going to do is the nightclub. And there's a little dance called Nightclub Baby Nightclub, which kind of introduces people to a nightclub step. A nightclub step has a different count than all the other steps. Everything we've done so far has been either straight counts or 1 and 2, but a nightclub is a little different because the counting is 1, 2, and. So what we do is we take and we step our right foot to the side, and then we rock back, recover. So we do a side, rock, recover. Side, rock, recover. Side, rock, recover. Side, rock, recover. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, shuffled, we did 1 and 2, 3 and 4, but this is 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and. So anyhow, those are nightclubs. And that pretty much is all of the beginner dances that I want to cover today, because I think that's enough. And anyhow, I hope this helps you to gain more skills on basic line dances so that when you learn some new dances, like I'm going to be teaching Easy Shuffle in one of the dance classes that we do it at dances, but it's not been taught at the dance class or at the dance club. So anyhow, you know, some of the steps are just good steps to know so that when you see it done, you'll know what it is. So I hope this is helpful, and this is a companion to the first video that I did. And again, I'm Lynn Funk, and this is a basic tutorial on some line dance steps. Thank you.